What the hell?
Blowing, bumping into the tent. Felt like someone was pushing against.
So if you can... What the...
The first video tonight comes from Stay Haunted TV, a UK-based paranormal exploration channel focused on immersive, real-time investigations of haunted forests, abandoned sites, and folklore-rich locations. The team uses minimal editing, night vision, UV lights, and ghost-detecting apps to document unexplained activity as it happens. It is September 25th, 2025, at Glen Arth Forest, Ireland, a location historically mined for iron and associated with folklore, supernatural reports, and alleged UFO sightings.
We've rolled into this big forest. I'll tell you a bit about the forest in the intro, but me and Ricky have literally just heard like proper like stomping up behind us, and we both stopped and looked around, and then we heard something like breaking sticks.
Neil and Ricky begin by discussing the forest's history, referencing past mining activity, local legends, and stories about the thin veil between the living and the dead. The forest immediately feels active and tense, setting an uneasy tone before any formal investigation equipment is deployed.
Yeah.
Look below.
Below?
We've heard we've had the foot. What was that?
Yeah, what the hell was
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Right, I've turned the torch down because I've seen something flicker in there. Hercules Fork. Speak, I was a child, do you believe? I've been here 600 years. Now guys, this...
Using ghost-detecting apps, Neil and Ricky attempt communication. The devices generate messages, including phrases such as, "I was hung," "Mommy," and warnings implying danger. The timing of the responses unsettles the investigators, reinforcing their belief that something is interacting with them.
Dude, what was that, man? What was that? What was that? What was that?
Where?
Mate, no. Dude. There was a big, massive, huge, like, big flash of light in the sky, like a big... What the...
Turn the light down,
What?
What's that light in front of us?
What do you mean, what is
What's
it?
going? There's a light right in front of us. Look at that tree line.
Dude, I can't see, I'm blinded by the flipping torch.
Right, I know we can't. Oh, can I put my laser on maybe? Let me see if I put my laser on. Right. There's literally nothing.
Why? Why is there nothing?
There's nothing coming through.
What the f...
But yeah, up there, like over there.
Yeah, but why, how's that even possible?
I've just seen a big flash in the sky.
You're lying serious?
I just seen a big
Told you?
flash in the sky.
I told you?
Multiple unexplained flashes appear in the trees and overhead sky. The team debates whether the lights could be satellites, drones, aircraft, or something less conventional. Orbs and beams seem to shift direction as they move, creating the impression of being observed from above or within the forest.
Run like... Yeah, it's like...
Even we're trying to get incognito.
Yeah, you can't really be incognito though when you're on a cliff. I wish I could show you these.
He was...
Oh my god, that was Santa up there. What the f? Who was f? Were you murdered? I don't know where to look because I'm like really freaked out. I feel like something's...
What's going on? Why is it? There's something flashing
watching me.
in my eye.
That's
and I
me.
can see... I'm not even... This is weird, right? So I don't know if it's your lights causing me to flash. I can see it in my eyes, my eyes closed. And I can see Chinese symbols.
The terrain becomes increasingly hazardous as they navigate steep cliffs and waterfalls in near total darkness. Neil comments on briefly perceiving unusual symbols, when shining his light across rock surfaces, adding to the surreal atmosphere. Whistling sounds, running footsteps, and distant screams echo intermittently, leaving the investigators visibly unsettled and disoriented. The investigation reinforces Glen Arf Forest's reputation as a location steeped in folklore and mystery. Shadow-like figures, unsettling device responses, unexplained lights, and disorienting auditory experiences combine with physically dangerous terrain to create sustained tension throughout the night. Whether the activity stems from natural causes, environmental conditions, or something unexplained, Neil and Ricky leave shaken, reminded that both the landscape and the unknown elements within it demand caution and respect during late-night exploration. Before we move on, if you're enjoying the video so far, leaving a like really helps. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time. We recently passed 50,000 subscribers, and that's entirely because of you. The next target is 100,000 before the end of the year. Ambitious, but worth aiming for. There's a hidden word somewhere in this video. See if you can spot it. Now, let's continue. The next horrifying video comes from Paul Tansley Paranormal Explore, a UK-based paranormal channel focused on solo, nighttime investigations of reportedly haunted locations. It is November 18th, 2023, at Dansdyke Woods, Flamborough, East Yorkshire, United Kingdom.
Have a go on that. I'm going to set a few cat balls up and hopefully it'll be enough for me to set up alone in the woods. If I was with people, I may get a lot more out, but don't want to get too much out while I'm alone in one of the most haunted woods in the country. Right. Right, okay. Got a couple of lights here. I'll just turn that one round that way. Put that one that way. So at least I can see about 10 foot either side of me. Right, okay. So what I've done here, I've set 3 cat balls off. I'll put them down on the floor. All ready to go. And that's really all the equipment I need, apart from the ghost, the ghost tube, which I'll use in a bit. And that's all we'll really need in here. Right. Hello, I'm in the middle of Dansdyke Woods.
The woodland is filled with natural sounds, rustling leaves, distant knocks, and snapping branches. Paul calls out, asking for any spirit to make itself known, carefully scanning for unexplained lights. Every shadow and sound feels amplified in isolation, building tension before a sudden disturbance breaks the atmosphere.
Right, I don't know what the hell that was. There's nobody in these woods. That was a hell of a crash. I think a tree's just come down.
A loud crash erupts behind him, likely a large branch or tree falling. The noise is sharp and close enough to startle him instantly. Being alone in dense woodland makes the moment feel far more threatening than it might in daylight.
There was a terrific crash over that end, over the far end, not so long back.
Another heavy crash echoes from deeper within the woods. Paul stops speaking and listens closely, unable to pinpoint its source. Combined with the ongoing rustling and ambient forest noise, the isolation feels increasingly oppressive.
Thankfully, I'm not seeing that. But I am seeing a light up there.
Throughout the investigation, Paul continues attempting spirit communication, calling specifically for the White Lady. The equipment produces mostly static and unclear responses. No definitive interaction occurs, yet the surrounding forest noise never fully settles, maintaining a steady level of tension. Paul ultimately decides to end the investigation, acknowledging that Dan's Dyke Woods is not somewhere he feels comfortable remaining alone at night. Although no clear apparition appears, the repeated crashes, unexplained light, and constant movement within the forest leave the experience feeling unsettled and unresolved. He reflects on the contrast between folklore and reality, how scenic woodland by day can become deeply intimidating after dark. The night reinforces a key theme of solo exploration. Sometimes it is not what you see, but what you cannot see, that creates the strongest fear. The next chilling video comes from 333 Ghost Hunting, a UK-based paranormal channel exploring haunted locations, abandoned sites, and eerie woodland areas. The team focuses on immersive, real-time investigations using spirit boxes, night vision, and on-location reactions to document unexplained sounds, voices, and environmental disturbances. It is August 26, 2023 in the United Kingdom. Woodland, near the historic stepping stones, close to Betchworth Castle and Box Hill.
Yeah, but I saw like something streak across.
Oh.
Like something white.
Fast?
Real.
It sounds like a duck crossed with a human.
Shut up.
Go on, make the noise back,
Yeah.
man.
Howling in that direction. It's kind of hard to hear. Sorry, I'm mumbling here. Wait.
Strange sounds begin echoing through the trees, noises resembling a mix of human speech and animal calls. The team pauses repeatedly, trying to triangulate the source, but the sounds appear to shift location. The inability to determine direction or distance increases the uncertainty and tension.
Made it sound like screaming.
It did. But like, there is a whole town down there. We can see the town.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to hear somebody scream in the town.
I don't know, noise travel's weird. We're on a
Do
hill.
it again. Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Hello? Is there someone there?
It's just a super clear, loud man's voice.
Yeah.
Was there speech?
Yeah, I don't know what he said.
It was like,
Can you say that again?
The noises escalate into louder screams and drawn-out howls that cut sharply through the silence. Some sounds seem to mimic movement or vocal patterns, making it increasingly difficult to judge whether they are dealing with wildlife, other people in the woods, or something deliberately reacting to their presence. Confusion spreads through the group as they debate possible explanations.
I'm rattling,
that
sorry.
was Hello?
Thought we should get Jake in the spirit box.
Yeah, let's do it.
Tis the season to eat us. Why did you want us to leave? We're talking to you.
As they retreat uphill, unexplained sounds continue behind the tree line. Movement, distant voices, and shifting noise that seems to follow their direction of travel. Fatigue sets in, and the group maintains heightened awareness until they are clear of the woodland. Over the course of the night, the investigation intensifies steadily, beginning with a fleeting visual anomaly and escalating into persistent disembodied sounds and unsettling spirit box responses. The combination of screams, shifting audio sources, and ambiguous communication creates an overwhelming psychological effect. By the time they exit the woods, the team is visibly drained and shaken. No definitive explanation is found. Whether the activity was wildlife, human presence, or something tied to the folklore surrounding Betchworth Castle and the stepping stones remains unresolved. But the experience clearly leaves a lasting impact. The next shocking video of the night comes from Hiking with Jenny, a US-based solo hiking channel documenting long-distance trail life, personal experiences, and safety-related encounters on major routes, such as the Appalachian Trail. The channel is known for honest storytelling, minimal exaggeration, and openly discussing uncomfortable or unsettling situations faced while hiking alone. It is October 23rd, 2024, in the United States.
In the living room, and we were watching some TV, and at 8:30 we heard a knock at the door. And so we were both like creeped out, like who could that be? Like we both, like the sun had gone down by now, and we knew that like most people, most hikers anyway, would be in bed by now. So it was really strange to have a knock that late. So she goes to the door, and there's James. And he gives her his phone number. And he says the weather's going to be bad tonight, and he takes care of the cabins there, and if she needs anything at all, to give him a call.
Jenny explains that during her Appalachian Trail thru hike, she experienced several uncomfortable and frightening encounters. While most people she met were kind and supportive, the isolation of solo hiking and the unpredictability of certain individuals created situations that left her genuinely shaken. She decides to recount these events in chronological order.
Didn't sign it, I just turned and left. In hindsight, now I'm wondering maybe nobody signed it because there was no pen. But I mean, at the same time, I also kind of assumed that he had stolen the pen. So I don't know. I get back on the trail, and I basically just like, I walk until I find like a log to sit on just off the trail. Well, while I'm eating my lunch, who walks by but that same guy? And at that point I was like, oh my God, is he following me? Like I just got super paranoid and freaked out.
During a storm near Blood Mountain, Jenny shelters in a cabin with another hiker named Tink. Late that night, a man named James knocks on the door, claiming he looks after the cabins. The following morning, he returns and behaves oddly outside. Later, Jenny confirms with cabin management that no one by that name works there, transforming what initially felt like an inconvenience into something far more unsettling.
And another car pulls over, and it's like a red SUV type thing. I figure it's just some sort of townsperson pulling over to make sure I was okay. I don't know, Southern Hospitality or something. So the guy asks if I had a ride. I said yes, and then he was like, oh, you like a local shuttle driver or Uber?
In North Carolina, Jenny stops at a shelter for lunch and discovers a man appears to be living there, with a tent set up inside. After she leaves, she notices the same man walking past her again, while she eats nearby. Concerned she may be followed, she hikes onward with pepper spray ready, maintaining distance until she reaches Hot Springs safely. While waiting for an Uber near Irwin, North Carolina, a man in a red SUV confronts her aggressively for choosing ride-sharing over a local shuttle service. His sudden anger and confrontational tone leave her feeling exposed and vulnerable while standing alone on the roadside. Near McAfee Knob and Tanker Cliffs late in the day, Jenny encounters a man shouting and behaving erratically near a riverside platform. He makes uncomfortable personal comments about her appearance. Rather than engage, she increases her pace toward town, repeatedly checking behind her to ensure she is not being followed. At a Massachusetts trailhead, a man begins fixating on Jenny, asking personal questions, and later appearing on the trail with treats specifically for her, while ignoring other hikers. After learning he has a history of targeting women, Jenny becomes increasingly alarmed. She alters her route, reconnects with a group for safety, and authorities are contacted. Police patrol nearby trailheads to ensure the situation is resolved. Jenny reflects that none of these encounters became physically violent, but each required instinct, situational awareness, and decisive action. What makes the experiences disturbing is not a single dramatic event, but the cumulative pressure of isolation and unpredictability while alone on a remote trail. Her story underscores a grounded reality of long-distance hiking. While most encounters are positive, solo hikers, particularly women, must remain constantly aware. The trail can offer freedom and beauty, but it also demands vigilance and trust in one's instincts. The next video comes from HikeSlam, a US-based outdoor adventure and hiking channel focused on immersive solo hikes, stealth camping, and exploring scenic or folklore-rich locations. Known for authentic first-person narration with minimal editing, the channel often blends wildlife encounters, local legends, and overnight camping challenges in remote areas. It is July 10th, 2022 at Bluff Mountain, along the Blue Ridge Parkway. The vlogger nears the summit after hiking a stretch of the Appalachian Trail. They pause for a water break on a log, taking in sweeping mountain views and dense greenery below. Wind intensifies as elevation increases, creating a constant rushing backdrop. A few hikers pass along the trail, but overall, the mountain feels quiet and sparsely populated.
And this was the haunted mountain, Bluff Mountain. They say it's haunted because a little kid went missing and then they found his body up here about like 11 months later or something. Here's the memorial here. We've been here before on HikeSlam, but let's check it out. So the Audie Klein Memorial there. Looks like...
At the summit, the camera lingers on the memorial. Coins, small toys, and matchbox cars left by visitors. The offerings, combined with the relentless wind and isolation, create a naturally eerie atmosphere without any dramatic embellishment.
Out brushing my teeth, I had my headlamp on, and I saw another headlamp coming up the trail. The trail is probably like 75 yards from where my campsite is. So I went up there to see who it was, just because I knew we wouldn't be able to sleep unless I saw who it was. By the time I got up there, they had either shut their headlamp off or they had hiked really fast past. Probably just hiked really fast past the top of the mountain, but I wasn't going to go chasing somebody through the woods. That just seems like a bad idea. So back at my campsite, a little weird just because there's not a lot of people out hiking at night usually, and somebody hiking at night hiking that fast is a little odd. I mean, there's all kinds of people who hike the Appalachian Trail. There could be somebody who's trying to beat their personal record. If I see the headlamp return, I'll check in with you guys. Otherwise, I'm going to try to get some sleep.
When the vlogger investigates, no one is visible. Whether the person continued hiking or turned off their light remains unclear, but the unexpected presence adds tension to an already exposed overnight stay.
Phil. It's about 5 a.m. I just packed up the camp. I'm headed back to the truck. I didn't sleep at all last night. It was like a freight train with the wind blowing, bumping into the tent. Felt like someone was pushing against it most of the night. So I'm gonna head back and get home, and from there I'm gonna make some breakfast. So yeah, that was a heck of a night. Crazy dreams and the little pieces that I did fall asleep and wake back up again, but for now I'm gonna head back to the
By morning, the storm-like winds subside. The vlogger packs up and begins the descent, reflecting on the wildlife sightings, passing hikers, and the restless night at the summit. Despite the discomfort and tension, the experience ends on a positive note. Breakfast at sunrise and clear mountain views restore perspective. The overnight stay highlights how easily natural elements, wind, darkness, isolation, and local legend can transform a scenic mountain into something far more unsettling once night falls. Before we get into the next clip, around 70% of people watching aren't subscribed. We're working toward 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you're enjoying the video, hitting subscribe really does help. All right. Let's get back to it. The last video of the night comes from Odinson_explores, UK-based solo paranormal investigation channel focused on spirit box communication, folklore, and atmospheric exploration of secluded locations. Known for immersive nighttime sessions, minimal exaggeration, and attempts to interact with spirits through spirit talkers and personal awareness. It is January 25th, 2026 in Druid Wood, Scotland, United Kingdom.
Been a few times last year. It was like there was a thumping on the ground. I basically had that right beside me down at the entrance. That's why I had to state that I'm here on my own. There is no one else here.
The investigator begins alone at the entrance of Druid Wood during the witching hour. Almost immediately, he reports feeling heavy thumping vibrations through the ground beneath him. He stresses that no one else is present in the woodland. Rain dampens the forest floor, and the darkness feels dense and enclosed, building tension before any communication devices are activated.
Just said skulls healing. I've just my own hearing. I can hear chanting or singing. And we're going to go down to the bit where I can actually hear it. See what there is.
During a longer spirit box session, the device identifies itself as James. According to the responses, the entity claims to have died in a sword fight and expresses guilt. The investigator calmly questions the name and attempts to guide the spirit toward peace. Additional names and references surface, some loosely tied to Scottish history, though nothing is confirmed.
So I could hear singing and I'm like, the spirit talker's not saying anything. It's on again now though. It switched itself off. It's done that a couple of times. Maybe because it wants me to hear the singing. Because I could hear singing there for a little bit. It was actually quite nice. It's not scary or anything.
As rain intensifies and wind moves through the trees, darker phrases begin coming through the device, including, "They killed him," "She doesn't like you," and "hiding in the dark." The tone of the communication feels more confrontational. With weather worsening and unease building, he decides to slowly retreat toward the entrance while continuing to document responses. The investigation unfolds gradually, beginning with subtle physical sensations and escalating into direct spirit box communication. The name James, references to violence, and later threatening phrases shift the tone from curious to uneasy. While environmental factors such as rain, wind, and isolation could account for some sensations, the timing of specific responses leaves the session unresolved. The investigator ends the night cautious but composed, stating he may return to Druid Wood for further investigation, particularly during the same late-night hours when activity appeared most intense. We appreciate you for watching. If these creepy encounters gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next drop. there's always another mystery waiting just around the corner.